Hi there. So today's video nearly did not happen. I am clearly going to have to record videos in advance, meaning like either the Monday or the Tuesday of that week for Wednesdays that I work late. I would have finished working at 8 o'clock today and did not get time on my break during the day to film anything. And therefore, here I am recording this at 9:58 p.m. on Wednesday. Definitely not doing anything in 4K because I'm going to need this to upload rather quickly before midnight. But I don't like being in this situation, feeling rushed and like I can't really talk through things. So it's going to be a much shorter video. And yeah. Today I wanted to talk about digital homes because over the past week, I spent a lot of time kind of evaluating my relationship with the digital workspace. And while thinking about this, I realized that in general, well, at least there's one way to look at this. I'm sure that there are others, but in general, we have two workspaces. Right? We have our private workspace and we have a public workspace. The private workspace consists of things like personal notes and applications that we use ourselves, whereas the public workspace consists of our websites, our personal websites, and social media, as well as if we have a newsletter, right? These are like parts of ourselves that we share publicly. Of course, we now have, we are able to share parts of Notion, and for Obsidian with Obsidian Publish, we're able to share notes and different pages, for example, in Notion, publicly. And with Obsidian Publish, we can choose which notes we publish via that offering, that tool. So there is some overlapping here, but generally most people, they have their private notes or the tools that they use privately, and they have their public workspace. So the public, what I ended up thinking about is that, the public workspace is pretty synonymous to our online presence. Well, it is our online presence, right? It's the digital self, or the self that we at least choose to portray online. And years ago, I remember wanting to be literally everywhere. I remember wanting to have be on multiple social and blogging platforms. But within the past year, I found myself kind of yearning for a home base, right? So I just wanted one space where everything that I care about can live, and that I can just send this person to this link, whether it's my name or some other domain that I created. But there they can find like my full, whether it's my body of work in terms of writing, what I'm thinking about, just a home base. And I think that makes you feel, well, when you have a lot of your digital self kind of separated amongst multiple platforms, I realize that there is a lack of just consistency. And I'm sure that there are people who are able to do it well, but for me personally, I do feel fragmented. So, the all-in-one public digital workspace is something that is more tailored to myself. So that's what I wanted to focus on, really, was because this past week I've been exploring, what platforms can I use to kind of consolidate this process, consolidate my writing, have everything in one place. And I actually came across a few websites, two in particular, that I really, really did enjoy and found that these were accurate representations of this. But before I even got there, I kind of began with identifying and just trying to articulate what features do I need in my for my public workspace or my public. It's essentially a website, right? Your personal website. So I wanted it to, for me, the layout and the theme is extremely important. Like, I need this to look a certain way. I need it to look, yes, minimal, but I need it to look crisp at the same time. Like, there are certain check boxes like in my head that are checked, and it's hard to describe. You kind of get an idea when I show you like some of my favorite websites, but I just need to have some flexibility, or a lot of flexibility, with editing the theme. And I'll go into, for example, Squarespace has been driving me crazy because that is what I have. My current domain is on. ReneeDeFou.com is on Squarespace. I currently put it to private because I am having some serious difficulty customizing these damn themes. And I realized that Squarespace has recently, so I'm just going to go into that right now, I guess, because I'm still so worked up about it. I think this is, yeah. So, for example, this is what it's private, as I said. This is what the homepage for my Squarespace website looks like. I had a link to a timeline. I had a link to my writing as well, and it was all kind of in this, under this one domain. But I realized that Squarespace does not allow you to select and to add or update the theme on your website. They've changed that for some reason. I've checked on YouTube and I can't for the life of me understand why everything has to occur now in this design panel, and all of the themes that they have on their website, they're saying that it's essentially, it can be customized from the design. But what's the point of that? Because I want to be able to go and look at your themes and install it and have it. Yes, I can do some tweaking on my own, but I at least will have everything that I like, at least from the preview of the theme, added to my own website, and I can do the tweaking after. But Squarespace has removed that functionality, and it is absolutely ridiculous. I just don't even understand how they came to that conclusion, but they did. And of course, I purchased the year-long plan, so I think I have until June or July of 2023 with Squarespace. So I'm gonna try to make this work, but I just highly doubt that. Like, all I really want to do is to center the title and do some other tweaking, and it will be fine. So maybe I still can. But in any case, Squarespace, I'm not happy with it right now. But moving back to some other features that I would like, I want to be able to easily link between, writing. So of course, Obsidian Publish does that really well. But any other website as well, of course, you can link to different. You can link externally, and you can link within the pages of your own website. A plus would be to be able to link to different blocks on a page of writing, sort of like a table of contents. But yeah, that's not a feature. That's a feature that most tools have. Of course, reasonable pricing. Reasonable for me, I can justify the value if it's perfectly tailored for myself. But it really is a matter of weighing the pros and cons. If it's too overpriced and I'm not getting, exactly what I need, then it doesn't make sense. Of course, mobile support. So I recently tried Blot. this is blot.im, so you can see here this is the URL. It publishes your work via Markdown or text files that you store in a folder on your laptop or on your PC. So that's, I found, was really cool, and I like this very minimal setup. There are some things that I don't like with this particular theme, just like simple things like this dotted line here. I don't like that, but it is what it is, and I like that this was just very simple. My problem with Blot is that it was really hard to figure out how to do just some basic things. I guess it's just me being new to it. But for example, if I show you I was using IA Writer to put everything into the folder on my laptop, and it's just some things that I guess I am not used to, like Markdown. Not Markdown, but this kind of, how do you describe this? To put a link, you have to essentially link to it from the file itself. Whereas if I were to do a link from Squarespace, I would just copy the link over the text and the link is there. But there's a bit more, I guess, manual work that you have to do for the links if you're using Blot. And it's only $4 a month, which is amazing. And it's an extremely, simple process. The problem is that I don't think that I will have enough ability to customize the page in terms of the theme. And I know that you can do all of the CSS, but I don't have that CSS knowledge. And quite frankly, I'm not too keen on wanting to spend all of the time to learn it if there's a better option out there. So I did enjoy Blot. I just, and this theme, what led me here in the first place is that this theme showed up really wonky on mobile. It's only when I shared it to Twitter that I realized, oh my God, I clicked on the link from my phone and then I realized, wow, this looks terrible. So always check how these things look on mobile, for sure. But yeah, so I wanted to have mobile support. Essentially, there was one other thing that I wanted to have. And that is, I wanted it to be blog or writing friendly first, right? What do I mean by that? So there's a site called Framer. Framer, right? So this was the Framer site that I was trying out. It's at, let me get framer.com maybe is what it's actually at. Or let me just click here and I'll be able to see. This is Framer's website. So they kind of market it as design, publish, done. So you kind of see that it's built for designers, framer.com. You notice that it's built for designers. So this is obviously not me. This is just their default text for this theme. I really like the theme, but then when I realized that when I was actually editing actually trying to add in my writing, for example, I realized that it really is design first. It uses a CMS and you have to kind of go into it. I wonder if I can get to the actual layout just to show you what I mean. So yeah, this is kind of this is the editor and everything. And by design first, you can see that, I'm not sure what this is. It took me a while to kind of figure out what this is. The home page, for example, you can see it on desktop, tablet, and for mobile. I added a writing page, a library. I wanted some photos and a now page. But for me to enter in my blog, like I want this website, my personal website, my public workspace, to mainly be writing focused, right? Yes, of course, I love screenshots, and there will be lots of screenshots, but I want it to be writing focused. And for me to click on the CMS to edit a post, I kind of have to come here, click here, and then I can go ahead and add a post, right? And this is exactly where I'm going to be writing. So it's clearly more design focused. So I would suggest Framer for someone who wants to do like a landing page, or you for a landing page for a product, or even a company's landing page. I don't know how great it is for writing if you want to really focus on the writing first, right? So that was something that I also considered. It did have mobile support, but it just felt too clunky and not writing focused. So where am I currently? Well, I'm considering continuing with Squarespace and possibly having a Substack newsletter, because Squarespace, obviously, because I have this up until June or July of next year, and I don't want to like waste my money. And the newsletter, so that I can do sort of like a weekly update to anyone that's interested in the things that I'm writing about on Squarespace. In terms of Ghost, I did try Ghost out a while ago, but they did not have that many nice themes at the time. It was quite some time ago, like a really long time ago, but now I realize that they have some nicer themes, and I'm gonna check out to see what other websites would have been built with it. Kind of looking for the ones that are blog, of course, blog first, writing first, and like something like this is nice. But yeah, just kind of look around and see if any of them, but then obviously some of these are not. Oh, that is not free. Okay, may want to reconsider that. So you see, all these factors come into play when you're looking at your personal website. Of course, I tried WordPress. That was a disaster. WordPress is just not for me at all. And then there's Pagey, which I actually got an email for today that it should be launching. It should have launched today. So let me just go quickly to Pagey. This is more of a me just kind of going around than me actually showing you anything like how I did in Tana and Notion and Skrintall. But again, this is kind of just where I'm at with the digital workspace right now. So this is Pagey, and right now it's going to be mainly for landing pages, but I think it does have some potential, and it would have potential for a personal website later on. But the only issue is that, it's still in development, but I really would like to try it, because the same creator of Pagey is the same creator of Bloggy, and Bloggy is what I currently have where I'm currently considering keeping my website. So Bloggy for me would be perfect, but the creator and the developer is no longer developing it, or no longer like fixing bugs and stuff like that. So I guess it kind of is a bad idea to continue, like to put all this time and effort into putting everything here, and then if there's a problem, I can't get it fixed. But this is essentially what I would want my website to look like. Very minimal. I would like this space to go away. I don't like this space, but anyways, very minimal. On the home page, just have sort of an introduction and then links to the main parts of the workspace, and some external links as well. My writing is here, so I'm able to post not only whatever I want, longer form writing, of course, there are images as well. And I can also do tags for book notes, for example, and see the other books that or other blog posts that would have been published. So I really like Bloggy. Like, it's so minimal, it's so perfect. I just don't want to invest in it and nothing is being updated, or I have a problem and I can't fix it. So it's quite nice and it would work perfectly for me. However, I'm still kind of on the fence with it. I did have just a page for my library, kind of the same things that I would have shared in my Scrintal public desk. But the public desk isn't really, it's great for like sharing. I need to be able to link to cards, I need to be able to share links to cards, because if I want to have a newsletter, then I want to be able to kind of share to this past week's recent notes. I have linked here my Notion gallery with photos that I really desperately have to update. And I have a timeline that I wanted to update every month, basically what I'm currently up to. So I love Bloggy. I love this whole setup. I don't like this space here. I also don't like these, like how the links are shown, like with this blue underline. Like, I wish I could have had a white underline, or maybe like a non-blue color, or another color. But I think I would have to pay for it, which I don't mind doing. I really like Bloggy and I would want to pay for it, but I just know that the developer, he's working on Pagey, so Bloggy's no longer being updated. So there's just that factor. Anyways, it's 22 minutes and I said that this was going to be a short one. That's essentially it. I'm still kind of working through the public digital workspace. I'm also, right now, I've been thinking a lot about digital minimalism. I came across 2 or 3 websites that, the persons don't have Twitter, they don't have Instagram, they essentially just have an email, and it was so appealing for some reason. Like, I really would like to have I think I'll go into digital minimalism, and I'm still thinking it through. I haven't read the book by Cal Newport. I've really just been reading different online articles and the content that these 2 persons would have had on their personal websites and their digital gardens to get more insight about it. I would have come across digital minimalism years ago when I read a book on minimalism, but other than that, only recently did I kind of delete Instagram and Twitter from my phone, because I really realized that I was just spending so much time on Instagram, especially, not Instagram, on Twitter, sorry. It was Instagram a few months ago, but recently it's been Twitter. So I want to focus more on my writing. So anyways, maybe digital minimalism is an idea for another video, but I'm gonna wrap things up here. Any feedback on what you use for your public workspace or your personal website is certainly would be greatly appreciated. Until next week.